Dr. Maxwell Maltz discovered the self-image concept as we know it today. In 1960, he was a plastic surgeon. And he realized he was operating on people. He may remove a nasty scar from their face. And he noticed sometimes when he removed the scar or maybe did a nose job on them or something, there was a great psychological change took place in the person. Where they may have been introverted, they started to become very gregarious and outgoing. And he postulated that there must be two images that we have, an exterior image, and we also have an inner self-image. Mm-hmm. And he started to study this, and he wrote a magnificent book on it called Psycho-Cybernetics. Mm-hmm. And psycho-cybernetics, psycho being the mind, cybernetics being the science of control and communication. And he goes into this, and he explains how every one of us has an image in our mind of ourself, and it's called a self-image. Too many people don't know much about themselves, and so they don't have a very good image of themselves. And you'll often notice that people will shy away from you. They won't look you in the eye. They'll look down or look up. They'll never try to do anything of any great consequence because they don't think they can. They have a poor self-image. But yes, if we're told we're not very good, you're just like you're dead, you're a bum, you're never going to do well, you didn't go to school, you can't win. That's all false. We can do anything. And we should be encouraging a child. Give them a pat on the back rather than a kick.
Okay, how can we improve it? Something specific. How can we go about making our self-image more positive?
Well, if a person would sit down and let their body relax, totally relax, and build the image in our mind of how we'd like to see ourselves. Mm-hmm. How we'd like to see ourselves acting in life, relating to other people, our social life, see ourselves in the position we hold, or how we make our sales presentations if we happen to be in selling or something. Mm-hmm. And then take that picture and describe it, write it out in the present tense. I am so happy now that I see myself, and write it out. Now, a lot of people will laugh at this and say, that doesn't make any sense. It makes a lot of sense. They can't tell you why it doesn't. I could spend hours telling you why it does, and I could explain it in such detail that everyone would understand it. But write out a description of how you'd like to see yourself. Start to read it, and read it, and read it, and read it every day. Carry it around and keep reading it. The one point that all the great teachers, all down through history, have all agreed on, they've been in complete unanimous agreement on it, we become what we think about. Now, it may be fantasy at first. It might even appear to us as being a lie. Mm-hmm. But if you read it often enough, you'll start to believe it. And when William James said, believe and your belief will create the fact, you will see the person's personality change. I watch people in the seminars, personality change right in front of my eyes. And all they're doing is starting to see themselves different. They're starting to think different thoughts.
I hope you enjoyed this video. We put a lot of
Hello, good evening. It's Melissa, of course, your host, Melissa Da Silva here. So welcome to week 3. So week 3. I can't believe we're on week 3 already. And this is one of my favorite topics, and it is on self-image. So I want you to think in your mind, what is the image that I hold of myself? Okay, everybody has a self-image. And what Bob talked about was you can really create a life that you want. I look at my own self years ago, and when I talk about creating a life that you want, it's not always about monetary things. Okay, so success starts in your mind. And it's not enough to just be positive. You can wake up, you can read all the books, and you can still not get the results in your life. Okay? So the opposite of ignorance, which is not knowing, is understanding. So this group's almost at 80 people. I'm so happy. We are growing. Okay. And the people that are here, as far as I know, are starting to feel a shift. I know I get messages daily. Stop thanking me. Listen, I'm not doing anything. I am taking some time to put this together. I do it very quickly. Aside from this group, I study every day, and I have a couple mentors that I look up to, but I am working with Doug, okay, on this information. I do the work by myself. For me to throw it together, it really doesn't take that much time. Okay. But my whole goal around having more understanding is helping to make a shift in your life. I wish years ago I knew what I know now. I look at my Alouette business, and I thank God every day for that opportunity, because it has helped me to step into more of a person that I already was through self-confidence, self-esteem, helping to build other women, to be and do whatever they want in their life for them and their family. But there was always something missing for me. And I've been learning more about that studying. You have to study every day. And whether you want to continue to follow me and let me take you to the path of where understanding is, I would love that. But you got to do the work. It's not enough to be here, to just be watching. I'm going to give a call to action every week. Think about it. Did you watch last week's? If you're new to the group, welcome. You can go back up into the featured section. You can look at the videos, week 1, week 2, and now we're on week 3. And then you're going to watch the lives. Each live has a call to action after. Do your homework, okay? Because when we write, constitute writing, it really sticks in the information into your mind, okay? It basically teaches you to think and to remember, because things just come in and out all the time. You're so busy in your life, right? But in order to have understanding, you got to study. And it's just decision. So, welcome. Please let me know you're here. I want to know what you thought about it. If you're new to this group, please introduce yourself. I'd love to know who you are. And we're just going to jump on to our presentation today. I'm just going to, hold on a second here. All right. This is a new program for me. Forgive me. Okay. So I'm going to hide this. And all right. So welcome to the group. Master Your Mindset with me, Melissa Da Silva. I love leading you into this information. I love helping you to think in a new way that you can apply these things to your life. These are not concepts that I have made up whatsoever. I study under Bob Proctor, and I help to lead this information to you and to better understand it. And also through leading the information, I also get to understand it and help it stick more for me. Because when you teach something is when you really learn about it, okay? I'm opening up another session this week with me on Zoom. It's going to be Sunday morning this time. It'll just be myself, and it's at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in a different time zone, I'm in Ontario and it's Eastern Standard Time. This is a time where you can come on. You can talk about a problem that you're having. Other people, they decide to put camera on, camera off. Some people come to be inspired. We had quite a few people on last week, and then I give you a little bit of an action step to help you out throughout the week, and I check up on you. Okay. So it's just something that I've been starting. I think it's really fun. And the people that have joined the first call last week, they can tell you they feel a lot better. So thanks so much. And I'm excited to see you on Sunday. So welcome to week 3, the self-image. Bob says, be kind to you. Don't be a victim of discouraging self-talk. Remember that thoughts have power and will affect your attitude as well as your results. That is so true. Thought energy is so powerful. You ever you're thinking about somebody, you ever had this happen? And then you look down and it's like, oh, boom, maybe they called you or they texted you. You know, we're on something called a frequency. You're on a frequency right now. You are on my group. You're in my group and you've clicked on the live. Okay. So this is a frequency. Just like if I were to call your phone number has a frequency. If I call your number, I'm not going to get your sister or your aunt. Okay. I'm going to get you. So just like your self-image, the thoughts that you think, they're all on a frequency. Okay. If you're in a relationship, you love somebody, that is a frequency, right? If you're having a fight with somebody, that is a frequency. Thought energy is so potent that if you were to direct thought energy into a laser beam, it would put a hole through your wall. Okay. That's how powerful thought energy is. Where are you directing your thoughts? Who are you hanging around with? I'll be honest with you. I'm very selective of who I talk to and who I hang around with. You only have so much thought energy. Be careful where you direct it. Okay? You become around the five people that you hang around with, you start to become like them. Who are you hanging around with? You hang around with me. That's good. And I'm hanging around with you. All right. So we're going to talk about the original concept of the self-image. So the first concept around self-image. So number one, the self-image is the picture that you hold of yourself. Okay. And Dr. Norbert Wiener and Rosenbluth, cybernetics was an idea that was actually discovered in World War II. Okay. These men were a physicist and also a mathematician. When they both discovered it, they never even had a name for it because it was used for the concept of a heat-seeking missile to a target. That was the first concept. Then in 1960, which is the psychocybernetics. Now, if you came to my first coffee with Melissa and Doug last week, you got a free copy of this book. This book is literally a roadmap to your mind. I studied this book with Doug in our book club. And I'm only on chapter 3, and it's completely changing my mindset around self-image. So in the 1960s, this book was written by a cosmetic surgeon that discovered self-image through his practice. He would have consultations with people prior to surgical procedures, listen to them, and noticed after the procedure adjustment, removing either like a facial scar, or maybe some people had bumps in their nose. Not all people, but he noticed after the 21-day follow-up post-surgery that they would have, some would have a dramatic change in their personalities. So that's when he discovered that we actually have 2 images of ourselves. That's crazy, right? That's amazing. There was one story that he talks about in this book, and it was a gentleman, and he had really big ears, and he had a big nose. But that's what he saw in the mirror, okay? So what happened was he went to see Dr. Maxwell Maltz for a consultation to fix his disfigured face. That's what he thought. He never went out in public. He never felt confident. And Dr. Maxwell Maltz actually, he didn't feel morally right to actually do surgery on this man. So what happened was he introduced the concept of self-image and explained it to his family, okay? And then he helped with this young man start to shift the image that he had about himself internally and externally. He thought what people would see. He wouldn't even walk and go look for a job because he thought that he was ugly, that he was worthless. But at the end of the session with Dr. Maxwell Maltz, he saw a totally different look about himself. He actually became very successful and started to educate people that you have two images of yourself. So just like you and me, we have an image that we look in the mirror and we see what other people see, but we also have an image inside about us. Okay? If you have a negative image of yourself, the picture that you hold inside will show on the outside. You know, are you in fitness? Are you educating people on health? I think that we should teach this in school and be a part of our curriculum. You know, kids are cruel in school, right? So once we start to educate at a younger age about self-image, then we help people to build and form a better image of themselves. I used to have a very negative self-image. Okay, our self-image holds us back. I do have a negative self-image still on certain things. And I notice it because I look at my results. It doesn't match. Sometimes the results in certain things don't match on the inside. And you know how you know? Because it shows on the outside. Remember what I said last week. By their fruits, you will know them. I can sit down one-on-one with somebody. I can ask you a few questions, and I already have an idea of what you're saying to yourself, what image you have. It will be a direct reflection in your results. Okay. So how is the self-image built? It's built both genetically and environmentally. So it's both genetically built and it's both environmentally built. Look at this. Look at the image on camera. I got a hair sticking out like that. I don't care. Listen, it's all good. I'm going to go and shower after and put a mask on. Okay. So what the heck does that mean? It's environmentally built and it's genetically built. So when we are born, remember what I talked about last week. We have something called a paradigm. A paradigm is a multitude of habits that it's fixed into your subconscious mind. If this is week 1 for you because you're new, go back to week 1. This is actually week 3. So each week I'm breaking down a little bit about your mind so that you understand and you build awareness every week going forward. So if I'm talking about something right now and it's like, oh my God, I don't understand what she's saying, it's probably because you missed a lesson. Okay. So go back to week 1 and then do the work and build your watch tonight, because things are built through repetition and doing. Okay. So when we're born, we have a genetic paradigm. We have something that's fixed already into our subconscious mind. And that is that part of us, right? Right from the moment of conception, we have a genetic paradigm. Most people don't know that. And then you have a environmentally influenced paradigm. So what that means is from the ages of 0, so basically when you were born, to around 8 years old, your subconscious mind, I'm Portuguese, by the way, and we talk with our hands. Okay, so I'm a newborn. This is my subconscious. It's open, okay? We operate from our sensory factors when we are young. Hear, taste, smell, touch, everything. That's how we kind of operate from mentally, okay? So whatever we're hearing around the adults, we're an uncarved block, okay? So imagine an uncarved, beautiful block of wood. That is you when you were born. And as you get older, the adults, the first teachers, God bless them all. I had them too. They tried their best, but they had ignorance. Started chipping away at the block. Okay. So the beautiful uncarved block, perfect, started to get chipped away from or away to. Some blocks had some criticism. Some blocks had a lot of built-in self-doubt. because the teachers at the time were our parents and whoever was around us that influenced us environmentally. A lot of the times they're operating obviously from their paradigm, what they learned. And that gets dumped into the subconscious of you. So then you start to form beliefs about who you think you are, what you are capable of. When I was little, I told you, my dad was very mentally abusive. He would smack the table. He would smack me. You're stupid. You can't get this. What's wrong with you? That's the biggest parent no-no. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? No, there's nothing wrong with you. And that's why when you have a conflict in your life, a lot of the times that is in your subconscious. Oh, this person's not talking to me. What's wrong with me? Oh, I made a mistake again. What's wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. Okay? A lot of the times a conflict that's going on is nothing to do with you. It could be to do with the other person as well. Or maybe it's both. Okay? So genetically built self-image, environmentally built self-image. They're both there. Talk about a virus in your mind. That's a double virus. Okay? So once you start to see, I'm going to give you some action steps at the end. You're going to start seeing what the heck is in here. What's the story? What are you saying to yourself? What's controlling your results in your life and your happiness? You can't hear it. You can't hear it. It's silent. And it plays over and over and over like a broken record. I know, because I have it too. But guess what? I can hear it now because of an exercise that I can help you with. And you're going to look at that paper that you're going to write. And if you're like me, I cried. I actually cry all the time. I do. I release things. You know what? The biggest killer is stress. It's a silent killer. Okay? So start understanding what stories you tell yourself. And when you change that thinking process, when you change that paradigm, when you change that self-image, you literally are going to change your life. Okay? I'm excited for you. All right. So we're going back to the current slide. All right, so both genetically influenced, environmentally influenced is your self-image. That is how it is built. The program, the inner computer, has a lot of viruses. Everyone has it. But you can change it. You can make the old picture obsolete. And there's a way to do it. So we got to go back to this concept. In week 1, we talked about paradigms. We're introducing again the stick person. I want you to remember that whenever you're in a situation, this is you, by Dr. Thurman Fleet. You have a conscious mind. This is your thinking mind. You have a subconscious mind. This is the knowing and the doing mind. This is the autopilot part of your mind. This is where your self-image is hiding, okay? So what happens is when we have our consciousness, right, that we're starting to build, we're going to have thoughts come into our mind. In the conscious mind, with the mental faculty, which we'll talk about in a week coming or 2 weeks coming, you have something called reason that we're born with. Right? So our reasoning mind is our conscious mind. It's our ability to think. You can accept and you can and reject anything that comes to you. I teach my 9-year-old boy this and my 6-year-old girl. Someone says something to you and you don't like it, you don't have to accept the thought. You don't have to accept the thought. You can reject it. You know what I do? Reject. Because once you accept a thought and it goes into your subconscious, you will feel it. You feel it through a vibration, which is feeling. Are you feeling good? You know, so it all depends. It all comes through the body. Okay. The self-image is hiding in your subconscious mind. It's the story that you're telling yourself. So when you think the thoughts in your subconscious, the story that you tell yourself, I'm a fat person. Lots of people don't even know that they say that. They just see the weight piling on. Oh, maybe your parents told you a story when you were little. Maybe your mom's a big person, or your dad, or your grandfather. Oh, you're just like your grandfather. It's hard for you to lose weight. Who decided that you were anything? That's a thought that you accepted maybe when you were young. Oh, your body is like this. No. You don't have to accept any thoughts that people tell you. You don't have to accept what I'm telling you right now. But I'm telling you not to reject it and to stay open. I think the woman knows what she's talking about. Okay? So in regards to your self-image, you think a thought. If you accept the thought into your subconscious, it turns into feeling. And then it's an action result through your body. So in regards, for example, to weight, you can work out as much as you want. You can eat as healthy as you want. But if you have a fat self-image of you, you might lose the weight. But guess what? I'm going to explain that your self-image is basically a cybernetic mechanism that it's going to fail its way to the target. You will find the way to get that weight back eventually. Sometimes people gain more. Listen, I'm not saying anything about people with weight. I'm just getting you to understand an example of what I'm talking about. Build the image of what you want. Nothing is wrong except the negative thought around it. Okay. So you can be whatever you want. Stop allowing people to tell you that you're a certain way. So this is a great concept to understand what the cybernetic mechanism in your mind works like. So what is self-image? It's the idea that one has of its abilities, appearance, and personality. The image that you hold of yourself. Okay. There is a cybernetic mechanism within us that is goal seeking. Get on my call on Sunday and get yourself a free copy of this book. Okay. This book is going to change your life just by reading it. It's amazing. Okay. So your self-image works like a thermostat. It will only be in alignment of who you think you are. Okay. It's an alignment. How many more doctors would we have out there? Maybe there would be a cure to cancer. Who knows? But the smart little kids or people when they were young may have been told that they're stupid. Okay. Some still believe it. I decided I don't believe it. If you have a negative image of yourself, then it's going to keep you hostage of the life that you say you want. Okay. So we're going back here. So let's talk about a concept here that we just shared. Say, for example, you have heat in your house, and I know you do, okay? And you have the thermostat set at 72 degrees. Somebody leaves the front door open. The temperature in the room drops. What happens? The cybernetic mechanism in the thermostat tells the furnace, hey, we've dropped to 69, get up to 72 degrees. Okay. So that is the concept that Dr. Maxwell Maltz discovered on how us humans have a self-image of ourselves. You will only be at the level that you think you are. Okay. So if we talk about money, for example, maybe your parents have only earned a certain amount, say 30 grand. Okay. 30 grand, 30 grand, 30 grand. And you go out after school, maybe you're earning 30 grand. Do you think it's possible for you to earn 50 or 100? Maybe the house that you're living in, you're not really happy with, right? So the thing is that I'm not just talking about physical and monetary things. I'm talking about the inner self of who you believe you think you are. And as long as you keep telling yourself the same story, the cybernetic mechanism will keep you at that level. This is something that I hear in Alouette all the time. I'm one of the leaders in Alouette. I have a pretty good team that I coach that is growing. And one of the things I always hear when I start someone new in the business is, I'm not that type of person. When did you dictate what kind of person you are? Sales is a skill. I was never a saleswoman. You know what I mean? Like, it's a skill that you build. You want to be a leader? You can be a leader. I teach my kids all the time. I don't just say you can be a leader. I tell Trenton and Solera, you guys are leaders. Someone's not being nice to somebody at school. You're a leader. Get in there and say, hey, that's not cool. You can't treat my friend like that. Or go look for help. That is a leader. We need to stop dictating who we think we are and start acting who you want to become. Write it down. In the introduction of today's video in week 3, I'm just going to take this out here. In the introduction of this video in week 3, Bob talked about I am statements through repetition. That's something actually in Think and Grow Rich, and it's called auto-suggestion. Okay, so if you want to take a pen, write this down. Write down I am statements about yourself in the present tense. Write it out 10, 15, 20 times a day. You're not organized? I am organized. I am an organized person. I am not a procrastinator. I get up early. I am successful. I am enough. And you start drilling and drilling and drilling through the repetition into your subconscious. Your subconscious mind doesn't know what's real. Listen to this. Your subconscious mind, I'm pointing here because of the stick man, right? It's in me. Your subconscious mind does not know what's real, that you tell it, and what is fake. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm a person that earns $100,000 a year by this date. Clear, definite goal of what you want of yourself. I am confident. I am beautiful. I am a good friend. I am a good daughter. Whatever, write it down. Once you drill it into your mind through repetition, you're going to start to see a shift. Act like the person you want to become. As most of you know, I sing professionally. I practice every day. I was recording this week, so I'm starting to release things slowly. But I'm also doing a study on Selena, the Spanish singer. She's originally from Mexico. When I put on my Latin dress, I set up my lights. My husband comes in. What are you doing? You're just practicing. Why are the lights on? Because you need to act like the person you want to become. When I'm in that dress or when I close my eyes, I am on stage. The tickets are sold out. I'm fluent in Spanish. I know how it feels. I see their faces. You gotta act like the person you want to become. It's not being conceited. It's not being any of those things. All the great leaders agreed on one thing. You become what you think. What do you think about you? So important. What do you think about you? And know that that self-image, boom, baby, it's going to bring you to where you think you are. So question, what is the image that you hold of yourself? Look at that kitty cat. He might only be a small little kitty cat, but when he looks in the mirror, boom, baby. We have two images, the external image, as I told you, and the internal image. What we feel. The external image is what we see, what we think other people see. It's important to be aware of this. Our self-image controls the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we greet people, our income, our relationships that we form, keep, and let go of. We can build a new image. We can build a new image. So Bill Gove says, if I want to be free, I've got to be me. Not the me you think I should be, not the me I think my wife thinks I should be, or husband, or partner, or whatever. Not the me I think my kids think I should be. If I want to be free, I've got to be me. So I better know who me is. Who is me? I have this on my my watch as a background. I think I'm going to put it on my wall. I'm in my bedroom right now. The struggle you're facing is a test to see if you are truly committed to the life that you say that you want. There's going to be crap that happens to you. I have crap happen to me all the time. All the time. I just don't stay down there. I'm not interested. If it's not bringing you closer to your purpose and your goal in your life for you and your family, let it go. It's not worth it. The struggle you're facing is the test to see if you're truly committed to the life that you say that you want. Amen. So here are your action steps for week 3. I'm actually going to put into the file section a self-image exercise that I have got. I did not make this up. Okay, this is not mine. It's something that I've been studying and I learn and I share. But these are your action steps I want you to do. Do the homework. Don't just come. Don't just scroll. It's not enough. If you want to see a shift, you got to do the work. I'm not going to be on the internet saying, you know, do this and you're going to, no. You got to do the work. Okay. Write out a list of your fears, your doubts, and your worries. And it could be long. Keep going. It could take a few minutes to do this exercise. Make a list of I am statements. Highlight in one color all the truth. So if you're going and you're like, I am confident, I am this, I am that, and it might not always be positive, right? But when you go back and you do the highlighting in different colors, the truth and the lies, you're going to see a big difference. But I have a specific outline of this exercise I am going to put in the file section for you, okay? Then I want you to make a list of all the qualities that you see in a person that you look up to, that you think you are not or do not have. I don't care who it is, your mother, me. Who is the person that you look up to? What qualities do they have that you like, that you don't think you have? Write in the present tense as if you already have it or you're already in that thinking, okay, that you have that. And I'm so happy and grateful that I am organized. I am whatever, okay? Week 4, how does this tie in? This all ties in together. The paradigm, goal setting, self-image, and week 4, baby, is the terror barrier. The terror barrier that keeps you hostage from opportunities in your life. You know, last year in our franchise, I was the #1 recruiter to the Alouette opportunity. Yes, I did use the fundamentals of the business, but I did not only use that. I taught people about themselves. I coach people in my Alouette business to be successful outside of their comfort zone. Growth is freaking scary. I can tell you, it is freaking scary. But staying in a comfort zone in that middle red line, that's more scary. Why are you living small? Don't tiptoe through life hoping to make it safely to death. We're going to talk about terror barriers next week. And wow, what the heck is this? This looks really hard. I'm going to break down this concept of the X and Y vibrations as well. How it works, how you're going to bust through the terror barrier in your own life to get to freedom of what it is that you truly want through your goal, through the look of your self-image, and to live the life you want. Will we all do it? Nope. We won't. I know. But I'm going to lead you there. You decide. Have Sunday morning coffee with me. I am inviting you personally right now to have coffee with me. I want to get to know you. What is making you stuck in your life? How can I help you? Start living. Stop deciding who you are, who you think you are, who you were told that you are. You decide. I'm really happy and I welcome all the new people to this group. If you like what you see, if you like what you're hearing, if you like the feel of the shift, keep growing the group. Add like-minded people in. Hey, I know you like positivity, or hey, you need some more positivity. Come to this group. I like what I see. And I hope you do, because my heart is here for a reason. I have self-doubt all the time about being here, about being a person to lead this, to help people all the time. My self-image is adjusting all the time, but it's going up. It's not going down. I won't go back. I refuse. And I want you to be the best version of yourself. Thank you so much. Do your homework and stay tuned for week 4, the terror barrier. Have a good evening. Let me know that you were here and keep going. Talk to you.